Hey guys, what's happening? Hey everyone, Lex here, and today I'm going to do something a bit different. I want to start this new series called Lex Talk, where every Sunday, maybe not every Sunday, but Sunday morning I sit down and kind of talk about what happened in games and movies and whatever the big news was. And so I figured I'd sit down with my cup of coffee here and just kind of chat freely about what I thought about everything. So this past week, the big news was Nintendo having their Nintendo Direct, which kind of came up out of nowhere a couple days before they announced it. And a lot of people had a lot of different expectations, as always with these Nintendo Directs. I mean, with Nintendo Direct, it's like Christmas, and you're not always satisfied. When all is said and done, you're not always like, oh man, I got everything I want. But there's always that hope where it's like, oh, you know, whatever I want could be announced. And for me, that's Mother 3. Obviously, Mother 3, if you don't know, Japan only, sequel to Earthbound, Mother 2. It's never been released over here, never been released in Europe. So I was hoping that we'd get some sort of information on a translation being brought over here, but turns out that didn't happen. So I'll get that out of the way first and foremost. Obviously, I'm kind of bummed that didn't happen, and the rest of the Nintendo Direct was kind of like, whatever to me. But I will go over some of these because there are some things that I am looking forward to, and we got some surprise announcements as well. Alright, so the first thing they talked about was Star Fox Zero for the Wii U. I've never been much of a Star Fox fan. It's just not my style of gameplay, flying around in a 3D environment, and I honestly get sick playing Star Fox 64. It's an okay game, it's not a bad game or anything like that, it's just not for me. So I've been kind of, you know, in the middle with Star Fox Zero. I like the Star Fox characters, I like Fox and all of those guys, but you know, the gameplay I can't get too excited for. But what they showed looked pretty fun though. It's a game that I probably won't be getting for $60. I might wait for a sale or something like that. I don't know. You know, I'd love to do a review on it because I don't want to review games that I know I'm going to like. I want to review games that maybe will surprise me, and so this is a game that would be like that. But I'm just not too excited for Star Fox Zero. People who are excited for it though got a release date, and also the announcement that there's a second game being packed in with it. And this is funny because this was the robot game that we saw, I think it was at E3, they were showing off, and at the time it had nothing to do with Star Fox. It was kind of like a tech demo of what the Wii U could do. And so they're going to be packing that in with Star Fox Zero, which is a very cool thing to do. You know, it doesn't look like the most exciting game in the world, but it could be fun. Oh my god, I spilled? What did I spill? My chair's gonna smell like coffee all week. I guess there could be worse smells than coffee. So next up we had Splatoon. I mean, I like Splatoon. I think it's a fun game. But honestly, it's just not my kind of gameplay. I like a rich story. I like, you know, being able to play on my own. I will say that Splatoon is probably one of the better multiplayer online games that I've played, just because you kind of get that whole, you know, trash talking out of the way. And trash talking can be fun and everything like that, but I mean, it's about the game. And so it's a fun game. I don't care for it too much, so any update to it, it's just whatever for me. Now here's something that I really was interested in, and it's okay, so it was Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. Now this came out in Japan back in December. So it's been out there for a while, and I've been looking at videos of it and reviews and stuff like that, and it looks like an insane game. It definitely looks more Persona than anything else. Definitely doesn't look too much like Fire Emblem, but it got renamed here for America, and I'm not sure that I agree with that too much. So the name is Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I believe they said Sharp FE, which is what the hashtag is all about, like a musical note, sharp. So I think it's strange, but Shin Megami Tensei is strange, so it's not like it's out of the norm for this series to be like this. It looks crazy. I look forward to it though. We need more of these games coming over to America, and I don't want it to be how it used to be, where they were afraid to bring these kinds of games over because we wouldn't understand them, or we wouldn't enjoy them, or we would think they're too weird. You know, I embrace the weird. Bring it over here. So after Shin Megami Tensei Crossfire Emblem, or as it's called now, Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE, I'm gonna have to keep remembering how to say that. We got Paper Mario Color Smash. So Paper Mario has been kind of, I don't know, in this controversial area, because basically when Paper Mario Sticker Star came out, a lot of people hated it. They absolutely hated the game, and I kept saying, like, what is there to hate about it? Like, what's so bad about it? So I went and picked it up on Black Friday a couple years ago and played it. I haven't played all the way through it, but I played a good amount of it, and I enjoyed it just fine. I don't think there is anything necessarily wrong with it. I think people, maybe fans of the series, who liked, like the GameCube one, Thousand Year Door, wanting more of a story like that instead of, you know, oh, something to do with stickers, or oh, something to do with colors, you know, just give me a story. And I can understand that a lot. But I think overall, these are good games. It's not a bad game. I can show you tons of bad games. I don't think Sticker Star was a bad game. Disappointing, maybe, you know. But again, I bought it for $15, and I wasn't disappointed for $15. But that's just my take, I guess. I don't necessarily look forward to Color Smash. I don't think I'm gonna buy it right when it comes out, but you know, it's not a game I'm gonna write off just because, you know, it has to do with colors. You know, maybe one day, maybe on the NX or something, we're gonna get like a hardcore story, like Super Mario RPG type thing. But for now, this is what we got, I guess. Speaking of a game that people are not too fond of, and it hasn't even come out, Metroid Prime Federation Force. Now, disclaimer, I am not a fan of the Metroid Prime series. I don't like it at all. I've tried and tried and tried, and I can't do it. The controls to me, are just, they're obtuse. I just can't get over how difficult it is to play that game. I feel like a game like Metroid Prime should control a lot better than it does, and not to mention all the scanning that you have to do. It's just, no thanks. I'm not a Metroid Prime person. I'm definitely a 2D Metroid person though. I love Super Metroid. The 2D side-scrolling thing, I think we need a lot more of, and I know it's kind of hard for Nintendo to justify, you know, a $60 price tag for a 2D side-scroller these days. But at the same time, and I know they're very difficult to make too. They're not easy games to make, but I think we need a lot more of these kind of 2D side-scrollers. I think once we've seen 3D, and some 3D games have been fantastic, but we have seen that 3D doesn't mean everything. So I would like to see a 2D. This game, it doesn't look too bad to me. I mean, it honestly looks like the Nintendo version of Halo. And I know Halo's kind of like, you know, 3D version of Metroid, or whatever you want to say, chicken or the egg. But it just, with no Samus, it kind of just reminds me of something like Halo. Like that first Halo was kind of, it was M-rated, but it was a very soft M-rated. I remember working at GameStop. Parents would bring Halo up to the counter, and it was our policy at our store to tell the parents, hey, this is an M-rated game. So I remember every time a parent would bring up Halo, we'd have to say, this is an M-rated game, but it's like the softest M rating, you know, there is. So This is kind of like that. Not that this is an M rating. It's not going to get an M rating or anything like that. But it just looks like a Nintendo version of a space shooter. So I think that it could be fun. It's unfortunate that it has the Metroid Prime name because it's going to be damned from the start. But that's how it goes, I guess. So next up, I'm going to talk about Pokmon Tournament, which is a game I really didn't have on my radar. Like, I knew it was coming out. I know what it's about and everything, but it just never interests me. But it's a fun-looking game. It's a really fun-looking game. I can see myself putting a good amount of time battling, building up my character, you know, changing how it looks and everything like that. It doesn't look like the most deep thing ever, but Pikachu and the Lucha Mask, oh, so good. I think I might be picking that up on release. It's something my son loves Pokemon. It's something that we could probably play together just fine. I'm looking forward to it now. I wasn't really looking forward to it before, and I've seen video of it before and everything. I've seen they've put full battles up and everything. But it just hasn't really clicked, and then for some reason, maybe it was because it was juxtaposed with all the other games that were in the Nintendo Direct that I didn't really care for, but Pokmon Tournament seems like one of the ones I would pick up out of this whole lineup. Alright, so they announced, well, they didn't really announce, but they talked a little bit about My Nintendo, which is the new rewards club, and if you bought Nintendo games on the Wii, on the 3DS, and you put in those little codes into their rewards website, you got some pretty cool stuff. I've got tons of cool posters from them. I got free downloads of games. I loved their loyalty program, and you know, it's kind of sucked not having it. And now it's coming back. It's going to be in this app form. You're going to be able to play games on the app, I guess, and earn coins and stuff like that. So here's what I'm expecting out of My Nintendo. I'm kind of expecting the rewards to be cheaper, you know, kind of like smaller little figures or keychains and stuff like that, you know, little tchotchkes or whatever. And you know, I guess we'll wait and see, right? We'll wait and see, but I mean, I'm not looking forward to it too much, knowing what we had, because I'm afraid it's going to disappoint. But any loyalty program is better than no loyalty program, because we buy these games anyway, so having that free swag or whatever it may be is awesome, you know, and it's free shipping. We don't have to pay for shipping or anything like that, so it's literally nothing extra out of pocket to get these cool things. So hopefully when that boots, we will have some good stuff. So now to what was probably my favorite thing of the whole Nintendo Direct. And it does have a caveat, which sucks a lot, but this is still a cool step forward. So for the longest time, 3DS owners have had the Virtual Console. You can play NES games, you can play Sega Genesis games, Master System games, Game Boy. There's a lot of different systems you can play. One of the systems you cannot play, and this is something that I don't think anybody really understood, was you couldn't play Super Nintendo games. They had no Super Nintendo games on the 3DS Virtual Console. They have Super Nintendo games on the Wii U Virtual Console that you can play, but not the 3DS. Well, they announced that on new 3DS systems, you're going to be able to buy Super Nintendo games on the Virtual Console. The caveat being new 3DS, which sucks because I don't have a new 3DS. I haven't really found a great reason to pick one up yet. I do want to play Xenoblade Chronicles, but at the same time, I'm not going to pick up a $200 system just to play that game. I'm not a big enough fan for it. Is this going to make me pick up a new 3DS? No. I mean, it's not like I rushed out to trade my 3DS in and get this, but it's just kind of, it's one more thing to push me towards that new 3DS, and I'm kind of holding out for, I'm really hoping they're going to do a Mother bundle. It's the craziest thing, I know. It's not going to happen, but I want them to do Mother 1, Mother 2, and Mother 3 on the 3DS in one package and do a special commemorative 3DS that's like red and gold or red and white or something like that, to just give us something, you know, because we as Earthbound fans, we feel like we get the shaft because Ness is one of the characters in their lineup that's probably one of the most relatable characters, right? You know, Mario, Kirby, Link, whatever it may be, those characters aren't so relatable, but Ness is just like a normal kid. He's got psychic abilities, which is cool, and he goes on this very heartrending quest, and they just kind of like, whatever, it's more of a Japanese thing. I think that if they were to embrace Earthbound Mother, whatever you want to say, if they were to embrace that series here in America, I think they'd do really well with it. Honestly, I don't see it failing as much as something like, I don't know, Federation Force is. I think Federation Force is probably going to fail big time. Or, you know, do as poorly as something like, I don't know how poorly it's doing, so I don't want to say it, but, you know, how it's being received, Triforce Heroes. You know, something like that. I just don't understand why they don't take the risk on it. And I don't think it's a huge risk. They were burned once when Earthbound came out. They released Earthbound on the Wii U Virtual Console. It's one of the best-selling downloadable games on the Wii U Virtual Console. It's always in the top 10. Earthbound Beginnings they released last year around E3 time, and that's one of the best-selling downloads they've had. So I just don't understand what the hesitation is. And maybe they are working on something like this. And maybe they're saying, oh, okay, well, this is viable now. Who knows? We want more Mother. We want more Earthbound. Please, Nintendo, give us more. And then to round everything off, we got the announcement of Kirby Planet Robot. Okay. I love Kirby. Kirby is one of my favorite Nintendo characters. Kirby was my first NES game that I remember buying, and he's got a special place in my heart. Triple Deluxe was okay. I'd really love a traditional 2D Kirby, not this 2D, 3D hybrid thing. I'm not a huge fan of that kind of style. I'd much rather have a 2D style and just have the beautiful art of all that. But Kirby's been getting a pretty big push lately with Canvas Curse or was it, no, the Rainbow Curse, or the Wii U game. Whatever that was. It was like Canvas Curse or something like that. And, you know, Triple Deluxe, and now he's getting this Planet Robot game that looks to use the same sort of style as Triple Deluxe. And I love Triple Deluxe. I mean, it's not a bad game. It was just kind of, You know, it wasn't a bad game. It was Kirby, but it was just, I don't know. It just felt like it was going through the paces. So with this game, it looks like you're going to be able to play as Kirby in a mech suit, which is pretty cool, right? But I don't think that's enough to say, you know, let's push another Kirby game out. I don't know. I'm just not for it, I guess. So all around, this Nintendo Direct was kind of, I don't know, kind of blasé for me. I liked the Super Nintendo games, but it's only on the new 3DS. It's great to hear that Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem is coming, but they changed the name. It's not a big deal. It's coming. I will get it. There's no doubt about that. Other games like Star Fox, Splatoon update, Federation Force, new Paper Mario. It just seems like they're doing the same things over and over again. And I'm glad that they're bringing, you know, Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem over. I'm glad that Star Fox fans are getting a new proper Star Fox on the Wii U. But it really feels like this is the end of the Wii U. And kind of feels like 3DS is starting to trail off too. So, I mean, is this a sign that the NX is coming later this year? And the NX is a topic I'm going to talk about in a separate video, because I've got a lot to say about the NX, what it should be, what it needs to be, all that good stuff. But it just kind of feels like they're done. They're like, okay, we're going to push these last few games out and then we're going to move on. And the Wii U is such a great console. It is. It's a fantastic console, especially when you compare it to the Wii, which in my opinion was a garbage console. But, you know, I guess we're gonna see here in a few months. So, anyway, that's it for Lex Talk. That was our first Lex Talk. That was a long video. Yeah, so I'm planning on doing this every Sunday. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Obviously, there's going to be a lot going on. The Game Developers Conference in San Francisco to check out Joe Montana football and maybe some other games. I don't know. We'll see what's around and what I can get some footage of. Also, I just made some big purchases. I got a second monitor for myself, so I only have this one here, and I love this monitor, by the way. It's the AOC i2367FH. I think that's the model number, or the whatever. It's on Amazon right now. It's $130 right now. It's a great monitor if you're looking for a budget monitor. $130. It's IPS display. It's a fantastic monitor. So I want to know what you guys thought of the Nintendo Direct. Put it down in the comments. Just what you thought. What are you looking forward to? What are you not looking forward to? Also, what are you playing today? Like, I'm going to be playing through Stardew Valley because I'm doing a review for that. And that's, so far, it's pretty cool. And then I'll probably take a break, maybe go to the gym, do some cleaning or something like that, but I'll be hitting Stardew Valley pretty hard. I broke out the Sega Genesis because I really wanted to play some Genesis, and I love the Genesis. I can't wait to do my Genesis video, which kind of leads me to my next thing that I bought. I bought an Elgato capture device. As you know, those are not cheap, so you know, getting my wife to agree to that was awesome. She was like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead. So I'm going to be able now to capture Wii U, PlayStation 4, older consoles as well. So I'll be doing a lot more reviews on modern games that aren't on Steam, some Wii U games. I will also be doing some older games. I will also be doing a lot more football content as well from older football games. Yeah, it's just, there's going to be a month too where I'm going to be doing like nothing but wrestling game reviews. So I can't wait for that, because that's a big part of my gaming history is wrestling video games. So there's that. I'm also buying a couple desks to rearrange the office here, so you're going to kind of see me in like a new setting at some point. But yeah. A lot of things are being changed for this channel to continue to raise the quality and all that good stuff. So thank you so much for subscribing, especially those guys who subscribed to me when I was making videos on my laptop. Just like terrible quality, the audio is off and everything like that. You know, you guys are the best. Have a good Sunday, guys, and my Stardew Valley review will probably be up sometime this week. And yeah, maybe next Sunday I'll sit down again with you guys and kind of talk about the gaming news from the past week. Thank you so much for watching. Like the vid to share it around. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my last review, which was Learn Japanese to Survive Hiragana Battle. It's all about learning Japanese. If you're interested in learning Japanese, highly recommend you check out that review because it's going to help you out. Until then, see you guys later. Happy Sunday.